Welcome back for more on NC Sports Weekly News, with plenty of action coming your way. Courtney Conlogue and Felipe Toledo double up again for a second double win at the WSL Rio Pro 2015. Nailing 6 individual goals, Team USA topples Team Australia's powerhouse and takes the overall crown at the ISA Sup and Paddleboard World Championship in Mexico's Sayulita. Spectacular send-off with thousands of fans in Newport Bay for leg 7 of 9 in the Volvo Ocean Race. It's just 2,800 nautical miles to Lisbon, a last long sprint, possibly worth the overall title. Senior correspondent Sébastien Destremaux is on the French sailing scene with Sébastien Josses' triumph at the Tour Belle-Île en Gitana. And then with François Gabart testing the new DM24 at the Grand Prix Guyader. France continues to rule with the EDEC Course Croisière, the world's top nautical event for students and by the students. Match racing season is full on in California, and Taylor Canfield now wears the second Crimson jacket as US 1 successfully defends the 2015 Congressional Cup. NC Sports, plunge into the action. After winning together just last month at Margaret River in Australia, Felipe Toledo and Courtney Conlogue doubled up for another double win at the Oi Rio Pro in Brazil. Now both ranked second in the world, they have entered the favorites list of this 2015 WSL season.
I never seen something like that before, like so many people on the beach, like it's better than the World Cup. It's more like emotional than the World Cup.
The home surf advantage, a national crowd cheering in the thousands. The pressure was definitely on, and Felipe Toledo responded with a stellar performance that began with high 9s and a 10 from the early heats. Eliminating Kiwi Ricardo Christie in the quarters and compatriot Italo Ferreira in his semifinal, he then kept his nerve to carve an even more awesome high-flying final. This was one for the record books, with another perfect 10 and a huge 9.87 to close the file against Australia's Bebe Burbage.
Yeah, I don't know. We just started the year really good, like me, Adriano, like all the Brazilians. We've been like really, talking about from everyone. So yeah, that gave me a lot of confidence and, all the support from the beach, from the crowd, like from my family, friends. Giving me more motivation to go out there and put in a good show for everyone.
Rio's Postino delivered only tactical small-scale waves that shook up the world ranks on the women's pro. Courtney Conlogue worked her way up the elimination ladder thanks to consistency and good combination scores. Narrowly doing away with Manlia Manuel in the quarters, she then defeated Tyler Wright 13.16 to 11.17 in the semis. Similar script for the final against South Africa's Bianca Buitendag, with the American placing 2 quality 7s for a 14.50 to 11.10. So where is it all coming from?
The heart and just using my mind to back it up, and I'm having so much fun right now, to be honest, and just trying to enjoy the moments and perform in those 30 minutes and get 2 good waves and keep it as simple as that. And to get back to back, I haven't even had 2 wins in a season, let alone back to back, so we'll just see where it goes, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season holds.
The next tour stopover is on the Barrels of Tavarua at the Fiji Pro in mid-June, and the 2015 season is huge, surf fans. So get the full take on this spectacular Rio Pro in the next edition of NC Sports Top Story, premiering on Saturday, May 30th at 5 p.m. only on Nautical Channel. Sayulita on the Pacific Ocean welcomed over 300 athletes and their entourage last week for the ISA's World Stand-Up and Paddleboard World Championship. 27 nations answered the call to reach Mexico's state of Nayarit in their quest for gold, silver, and bronze medals. Conditions held up and the fiesta was full on, and with 2015 delivering some huge surprises. With the 6 individual golds, Team USA dominated the overall scoreboard early on and ultimately won the match against Australia's reigning champs. The event format included SUP-surfing as well as SUP and paddleboard racing, with its long distance, technical, and relay races. Men's prone paddling offered a superb duel for gold between Lashy Lansdowne and Jack Bark, with the Aussie taking the long distance and the American responding by winning the technical. Sealing her 4th golden year for Australia, Jordan Mercer once again dominated women's paddleboard, winning on both the marathon and the technical race. Candice Appleby responded in kind for the USA on the SUP, also taking both the distance and technical golds. Sean Pointer and Izzy Gomez also did their part for the USA in SUP-surfing, taking both men and women individual golds for the discipline. On the final count, the American lead on the overall combined scorecard was substantial, 12,231 points to 10,814. With a last consolation victory in the closing relay races this year, the strong Aussie team would have to settle for the team silver. While just 500 points behind, a remarkable new team Hawaii celebrated an unexpected bronze. Full coverage is coming your way, so join the current on Nautical Channel. This Saturday at 5 p.m. Come to Mexico with the NC Sports Buzz for the highlights, the beachside comments, and the complete results from this huge SUP and paddleboard fiesta at the ISA 2015 World Championships in Sayulita.
Well, I mean, obviously we've got to stay, close to Dongfeng. That'll get tested a little bit if we want to go a different way to them. So I think we'll just have to see how it unfolds. We'll see how we get out of the harbour, and we'll take it as there. I think everybody will sort of aim for the same waypoint for the first day or two, and then there's a pretty big fork in the road, and we'll have to see who goes where.
Sailing fans from all over the USA swarmed the docks of Newport's Fort Adams in the thousands for a truly spectacular send-up. A light 10-knot breeze swept over the start line of Leg 7 as the fleet began its 2,800 nautical mile transatlantic sprint to Lisbon. Captained by the UK's Ian Walker, Abu Dhabi Racing's overall 6-point lead has raised the stakes, so new last-minute backroom crew entries were in order. Hoping to make a difference, Charles Caudrelier and the main contenders on Dongfeng called up a record man, Sidney Gavinier, while Kiwi match race guru Adam Minoprio was instead snatched by the Dutch on Team Brunel, now in third and with a steep 10-point gap to fifth. Marked by super tight racing and heart-stopping finales, this new one-designed edition of the VOR 2014-15 has been completely unpredictable, and for that, immensely successful. With 1/3 of the total points still available in the last 3 legs, once again, just about anything can and probably will happen. Get complete updates in the next NC Sports editions.
Gitana, skipped by Sebastian Josse, wins the 8th edition of the Tour de Belle-Île, ahead of 470 competitors.
It's great. We begin to know the course quite well. We always go and train on the course the day before the event.
At an average speed of 17.41 knots, Sébastien beat his own race record by 17 minutes.
Yeah, it's the cherry on the cake.
But the victory is not that easy for Gitana, who benefits from a mistake made by Paprec behind Belle-Île.
It went well. We had a bit of a tussle with Jean-Pierre and Sydney. It was very close, and Jean-Pierre was even leading around the island.
Frank Camas took also part of the race on this noticeable winged AC-45 Groupama. We quickly jumped from La Trinité to Douarnenez for the Guyanese Grand Prix, an event won by Combi West ahead of Massif in the Jam 24s. Only the winner of the Vendée Globe, François Gabart, manages to put pressure on Fred Guillemin, who sails very consistently.
The boats are strict one design, so the speed differences are tiny and the boats are very close together. The differences are in the details.
The top 11 boats are selected in the Gold Fleet for the last day of racing, and the gap between the first and the last one is often barely a minute. The battles are intense around the marks, and for several teams the event allows them to familiarize themselves with these new powerful machines.
These small trimarans are super cool. The level is quite high with some very good skippers and crews on all the boats.
Starting in a few weeks, the first Tour de France sailed on these multi-hulls. Will be a lot of fun to watch.
Among other top events hitting the French coastlines this spring, the 2015 EDEC Course Croisière in La Rochelle turned out to be yet another success, with over 3,000 students attending from 160 schools in 22 countries. This 47th edition of the multi-sport raid held its traditional student regatta as main centerpiece. While a week-long nautical bash also offered windsurfing, kitesurfing, as well as a variety of beach sports tournaments. Adding value to the entire operation, the event itself was managed for and by students themselves as part of an innovative career training program that this year promoted issues on safety, sustainability, and diversity. Scoring 17 wins against just 4 losses overall, Taylor Canfield and the US 1 team successfully defended their Congressional Cup title in Long Beach, California last weekend in the opening stage of the 2015-16 World Match Racing Tour season. Canfield dominated the series and made it to the last match by defeating first Denmark's Joachim Aschenbrenner 3-0 in the quarters, and then Bjorn Hansen's Swedes in a 3-1 semifinal. A New Zealand versus USA final was in the making. Phil Robertson and the Kiwis of Walker Racing pushed back GAC Pindar, led by 5-time and reigning world champion Ian Williams, with a 3-2 in their semi. With 1 win apiece kicking off the final, race 3 became the decider. "12 knots blew in from the southwest as both teams aggressively rushed into OCS on the start line. Canfield simply ducked his bow, while Robertson was forced around the committee boat to then chase in vain. Final score 2-1 for Canfield, now a proud owner of another traditional crimson jacket. Join the current on Nautical Channel, SUP and paddleboard fans. The Fiesta premieres this Saturday at 5 p.m. on the NC Sports Buzz, with full coverage of the ISA's 2015 World Championship. Get the unfiltered interviews, the race highlights, and complete results from Mexico's Sayulita. Plunge into the action with NC Sports.